be real honest with you guys. I just called to have. I just asked Beef to call it. He said no because I don't believe you guys are going to pull your shit together. I don't think we can go an attempt without having 5 people go, oh fuck, and that fuck something up. And the next mage or
and finally it's not me
that sends that ball way out to the right, I'm going to ask what you're doing because you're fucking it up. Because when Keels hits that ball, for some odd reason, it always goes back to the boss. But when somebody else hits that ball, it's out in fucking East Timbuktu, and I want to know why the fuck it's out there. And as far as melee goes, you guys need to be watching square more. Because we shift to soak that ball bounce. That's what we're doing. So when you're the odd man out, way out in the left field, just hanging out with your dick in your hand, you're fucking the rate up. Shift, pay attention. There's a lot going on. If your leaders can sit here and watch everything everybody's doing and still shift and still pay attention, so can you. Put the time into figuring it out. It's all about positioning your balls.
Yes, it is.
Everybody's ready.
Welcome. I am Sapwhat, and this is Predominant's kill of 25-man heroic Zon'ozz. For this fight, we use 2 tanks, 7 to 8 healers, and a good mix of ranged and melee DPS. Assume you've done this on normal, and what we'll cover are some of the things you need to know for the heroic level encounter. One of these things we need to talk about is disrupting shadows. In your normal version, your healers would dispel this so that way you're not consistently taking damage. Now in heroic it does do more damage, but you don't dispel it. Your healers have to heal through it because it actually knocks everyone within a 10-yard radius back, and that's just too many people. Heroic, just like on normal, you still get the void ball. How you deal with it is a little bit different though in heroic. What you basically have is some sort of soaker class. We used mages typically for this, and they would take the bounce, the outward bounce of the ball by themselves and have cauterize to keep them alive. Now you do this so that way there's no major interrupt in your output for DPS. You're constantly on the boss, you only have one person soaking, and we normally did either 10 or 8 bounces. And of course on 8 or 10 it would be hitting the boss to transition into phase 2. Phase 2 is where you see the biggest differences from normal to heroic. In heroic you actually have to have a plan for what you're going to do for the ads that spawn, because if not it will wipe you. They don't go away, you gotta kill them. Now if you look at our map here, basically what we did was divide the board into 4 quadrants, and we have five groups in a 25-man raid. 1 is full of tanks and healers. The other 4 each have a dedicated healer, 2 melee, and 2 ranged. The reason for this is so that way when you're on the ads during phase 2, you can divvy everybody up correctly. During phase 2, your tanks will need to be on the claws. If not, that's a raid killer. It just is. They spit out ooze and it hits like 100k, everybody within 4 yards of the player, and it's a mess. So make sure your tanks are on them right off the bat. Melee's job during phase 2, arguably one of the most important, is to have each group, one of each melee, on the eyes. They need to be interrupted as much as possible. That cast, if left unchecked, will put out way too much damage into the raid. How to interrupt, you say? There's no cast bar, you say? Well, when the eye gets all crooked and scrunches down, that's when you kick. You may be asking, Sap, what are the ranged doing? Well, the ranged are on the flails. Each quadrant will have a single flail for the range to DPS. As soon as they're done with DPSing the flail, then it should be time for them to switch to the claw, because melee at the same time should be each downing their respective eye. We had each group individually figured out who they wanted on eyes, who they wanted on flail, and where they wanted to stack, because each group with each healer needed to figure it out themselves. And we put that in our raiders' hands, and they did a really good job of doing that. It just took us some teamwork and some coordination to figure out each phase and transition, and it's a rinse and repeat thing. And if you guys spend the time, it can be a kill for you as well.
Any more B-Ray?
Yeah, mine's up. Who you want up? Alan?
Do we want
Al-
Hero?
Yeah, I'm up.
Yeah, he's the only one dead.
Alright, let's go here. I'm going to get him.
Range,
We're gonna have to.
Fall down.
I'm as hell. You mana?
Yes.
Heroing, because
Come on,
we
guys.
shouldn't be doing
Hero,
that.
hero. Hero.
Dispel APOC if you can.
Use that light well.
I wish it was on my right.
Oh shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yes!
Oh my gosh! Oh yes!
That's what I'm talking about.
Creds, everybody.
And that shit's been
Oh,
We
that's
still-
intense.
And we,
I want a
That's
picture.
intense.
we actually still had a
Isn't
minute
it?
on the Enrage too, so DPS did really good.